All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister, Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for those of you who are watching us here on various platforms. Also, thanking those of you listening to us on the podcast on YouTube and other various podcast channels. Appreciate you so much. And speaking of YouTube, for those of you watching on YouTube, if you have not already subscribed, then I will please ask you to subscribe, and subscribe. Hit the little magic bell, bing, and you'll be notified whenever we are on the adder. And please, anywhere on social media, it's real simple. Follow us at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. So we're there on all social media platforms. Well, as another big weekend in sports has just passed, another big weekend coming up. And we have a little bit of everything. We have WNBA playoffs have started. We have the Atlanta Braves fighting for their postseason lives. And then later on, of course, we always talk high school football. We saw 2 thrillers over the weekend. We actually streamed 2 great games. We'll talk about those games. Also, a little bit of college football, latest breaking news in terms of your weekly poll, top 25 poll. And of course, we have to finish off with the Atlanta Falcons. And thankfully tonight, we're bringing back our man, Hall of Fame writer, Mr. D. Orlando Ledbetter. So strap them up, youngins. We're going on a nice little ride here on the Real Talk Sports Show. Like I said again, it was lots going on. And as I mentioned, the Braves are fighting for their postseason lives. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the saga of the Braves this year, they basically have lost almost their entire, let me not overemphasize it. They have lost most of their key players on this team. And when I say key players, you're talking about last year's MVP. You're talking about Cy Young candidate. You're talking about an all-star third baseman, an all-star second baseman, all off this team. Oh, and by the way, an up-and-coming rising star center fielder, all gone. One, the center fielder came back for a minute. He is now back. But the bottom line is you lost him for a good part of the season. But yet, the Bravos find themselves just 2 games out of the final wild card spot in the National League. That's right. The Braves, still with all the stuff I just mentioned to you, are nifty, 85-71, 14 games over 500. And like I said again, still struggling to stay in the mix for postseason play. And it gets down to this, guys. The way things always work, the antagonist and the protagonist square off right at the end. It's amazing how Major League Baseball always gets that schedule just right. Right down the road from us, even as we speak, the Atlanta Braves are playing the team they trailed, the New York Metropolitans, one of their arch rivals. Mets are up on the Braves by 2 games, 87-69. Let me slow down. 87-69 the Mets records. 85-71 is the Braves record. And so right now the Braves find themselves 2 games behind the Mets, again, for that final wild card position. If the Braves were to somehow sweep the Mets in this series, the Braves would then be 1 game ahead of the Metropolitans. If the Braves can take 2 out of 3, they will still find themselves trailing by 1 game, and with about 4 games left in the season. So as you can see, guys, it's come right down to nitty-gritty. 6 games left to play. I think the Braves need to win at least 4 of those 6 to have any shot for postseason play. And right now, let's see if there's any type of score update here in Atlanta. Let's take a peek and see if we have a score update. The survey says right now as we speak, it is nothing in the 3rd inning. Braves 3 hits, the Mets only have 1. So again, this is a big homestand for the Braves to be able to see if they can knock it off. Now here's the thing that's staggering, guys. I'm looking at this, and this is really unbelievable when you think about this. The Braves have won 18 division titles, and in the last 5-6 years, let's see, 2018 NL East champions, 2019 NL East champions, 2020, 21, 22, 23. So the Braves are on a streak of winning 6 straight NL East titles. Now they won't do it this year, obviously, but unbelievably how this team has been a marketplace of excellence for years. It really is amazing when you think about that. And so anyway, like I said again, right now it is nothing. We're in the 3rd inning of play as the Bravos struggle to hold on to that final wild card spot. Let's go to social media. Let's see some of the comments here. Okay, evidently my audio is having a bit of a problem, so we're going to take a break here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. We've had some audio struggles. We're going to take a break and see if we can get back to give you guys some good audio. You are watching and listening to the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, please. Thank you, and thank you.
Hey sports fans, tune in for live high school football Friday, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at AllenVigilFord.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, hopefully everybody can hear me here. Evidently, we were having some microphone problems. Microphones going in and out. Hopefully and prayerfully, if I keep my head still, we will avoid that situation. Like I said, you're listening and watching the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host and minister, Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God again for those of you who have tuned in to listen to us on the broadcast. As I was saying before we went off the air, Braves in the 3rd inning right now, nothing, as they struggle with everything they got to catch the New York Mets for that 3rd and final wild card spot. Now, here's the thing that's crazy. It is very, very tight because the other 2 teams, the San Diego Padres and the Diamondbacks, now it would take, a yeoman work, but the Diamondbacks have been reeling. They have recently just won a couple of games in a row because they had lost like 4 or 5 games in a row. Meanwhile, the Padres red hot, 8-2 of their last 10 games they've won. So again, it would take something kind of out of the ordinary for the Padres to fall back and fall out of it. But like I said, again, the Diamondbacks, they could. The Diamondbacks are only technically, let's take a look here at 87-70. Yeah, they're just basically a half game in front of the Mets and 2.5 games in front of the Braves. So the Braves could leapfrog them both. Just saying. So keep your eye on what's going on with the Atlanta Braves and see if the Braves can somehow sweep the Mets and at the bottom line win at least 4 of their next 6 ball games in order to pull this thing off. Okay, the other thing we want to talk about in terms of playoffs, WNBA playoffs have started. They're in full swing right now, and it is what you expect. Your top seeds so far have been pretty dominant. Let's go to our tote board and see what the situation is with WNBA playoffs. One thing we do know about the WNBA playoffs is that our own Atlanta Dream got in. And this is why, guys, you just never know. Dream won their last 3 games and slipped in by one game in that final wild card spot. The problem is they ended up having to play the number one seed, the best team in the league, the New York Liberty. Now they beat the Liberty in their final game to clinch that playoff spot. But unfortunately, the Liberty was like, "Look, good news. We're about to beat the brakes off you," as they did in game one, winning by double digits. However, the Dream, looking to extend this series, are in a knockdown, drag out battle right now. The Dream find themselves trailing the Liberty 40-38 here in the second quarter of play. You got about 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Now, to the Dream's credit, they came out of the chute and was looking to try to again send this thing back to Atlanta. They finished the first quarter up 28-19. Unfortunately, since then, the Liberty have woken up, and so far in the second quarter, they've outscored the Dream 21-10. And again, the score right now, as we speak, with about 3 minutes left to go in quarter number two, bingo, Dream 40, Liberty 40. So it's all tied up. Liberty and Dream. This is a must-win game for the Dream. If the Dream do not win this game, the series is over. This is only a 3-game series, and the home team actually has the first 2 games at home. So it's going to be critical that the Dream win this game tonight, or else they will go home. But to their credit, they're giving it all they've got. The game is tied at 40-40, and as you expect, the All-Stars have come out to play tonight. Alicia Gray, 14 points. She has played all 17 minutes of the game so far. Also, Ryan Howard, another All-Star, 10 points. She has also played all 17 minutes of this game. Tina Charles, the OG, 8 points and 3 rebounds. Remember that she is the all-time, not a new all-time leading rebounder in WNBA history. So the Dream giving it everything they got to try to stay in this game. Meanwhile, for the Liberty, Breonna Stewart has 11 points so far in 16 minutes. And Sabrina Alescu, now I know I pronounced that name terribly, but she's the young lady that squared off against Steph Curry a couple of years ago in the All-Star shootout. Acquitted herself very well. She has 13 points and also has 6 assists. So again, our score right now, an update, 2 minutes left to go. The Dream now taking the lead, 42-40 over the New York Liberty. Again, the Dream must win tonight in order to extend this series and get this game back to Atlanta. Well, speaking of WNBA, speaking of how the ladies do it, we have one of the most beautiful ladies on Sports Talk Radio TV. We simply call her the Queen. Tree Dolman is back in the building. Queen Tree, welcome back.
Hello, Jonathan. Hi, everyone.
What's going on?
Woo.
A lot.
Nice, long, busy day. Yes.
Well, there you go.
I want to give a shout out to Homestretch. They had me host their event today. They had a lunch tea at the Country Club of the South, and it was really phenomenal. It's a great organization. They help homeless people get in housing, and they teach them how to sustain the housing and bring up their credit scores and save money. Just phenomenal organization.
Well, I have someone that might needed their services, ironically enough.
Okay.
So I'll talk to you about that after the
Definitely.
show. Yeah, so Tree, WNBA playoffs are in full throttle. Like I said, the Dream took it on the chin for game one, but they are determined to try to bring this thing back to Atlanta. Right now, raced off to a 9-point lead to end the first quarter. Of course, the Liberty came roaring back, but the Dream, after going down, they've now tied it. It is, and now actually taking a lead. 2 minutes left to play. Dream up 42-40 in that ball game. So kudos to the Dream for hanging tough and trying to make it do what it do. Around the rest of the league, let's get some more scores. Aces, they win on Sunday, 78-67 over the Storm. The Lynx, 102-95 over the Mercury, and a big shootout out there. And of course, as I mentioned, the game that we just had, it is the Dream who were knocked off by the Liberty in game one, but now, like I said, again, are roaring back to try to make it do what it do. So that is our story here in the WNBA. Have you gotten a chance to tune in on any of the games up to this point?
No, not any of the playoffs. I was out of town this weekend. I've been going, and then going some more.
And going some more.
Unfortunately, I have not been able. I'm watching the game now, but I'm just now getting home now. So, So So no, haven't been watching them, but definitely have been keeping up track of looking at highlights and different things of that nature. But now my schedule will calm down somewhat and I will be able to enjoy a lot of the games.
No doubt. And of course, the final game of the first game group of this series, the Sun took it to the Indiana Fever, 95-69, as the Connecticut Sun, one of the top 4 teams in the league, really handed to the Fever. Like I said, again, this is their first time in the playoffs in several years. So kudos to them for this even reaching the series, being the 6th seed overall. But yeah, unfortunately, in their first game, they got kind of shellacked. But like I said, if they win the next game, it goes back to Indiana for the deciding game 3, and who knows? One game in, you never know what may happen. So, big shout out to
That's
all
true.
the ladies, as they continue to roll on. But one more time, let's get an update on the score. And yeah, we're still holding tight at 42-40. Dream over the Liberty. Just a few minutes left to go here in half number 1. So good stuff there. And I talked a little bit before you hopped on, Tree, about the Braves. The Braves also kind of fighting with all they've got to try to stay in the playoffs as well. All right, guys, listen, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Please don't go anywhere. Thank you, and thank you. Stay tuned.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at Allen. Hey, sports fans, tune in for live high school football Friday, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at AllenVigilFord.net.
We are back here. We are back. Like I mentioned, it's been a big weekend in sports with a WNBA playoffs kickoff. We have the final stretch for postseason play for Major League Baseball. Braves find themselves about 2 games out of the final wild card position. But depending on how things go the last 6 games, they could find themselves in the 2nd spot. But we shall see. Right now, they're hosting the Mets.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
I
So
hope the
Bravo.
Braves do very well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of they have 6 games left. They have to, I think, go a minimum, and everybody else has talked about this, a minimum of 4-2, and then some of it's out of their hands. Now, fortunately for them, these next 3 games, it's in their hands. They are playing the team in front of them, the New York Mets, who have a 2-game lead, and they are playing them at home. So they have 3 games here. If they sweep it, they'll find themselves 1 game ahead of the Mets for that final spot. If they can take at least 2 out of 3, they'll be 1 game back with 3 games to play. So the Braves are looking to make some things happen here with 6 games. Can you believe it's just 6 games left? That's it. That's all we got.
That is deep.
All we got.
It's like, wow, time flew. It seemed like we were just at the beginning of the season not too long ago.
Yep, since the season first started, and then bango, now we are here in postseason play already. So, like I said again, we'll look forward to seeing if our Bravos can, pull this thing out. What's interesting is that this team, their record of excellence is unbelievable. I was just looking at this. They have won 6 consecutive NL East titles. They obviously won't win it this year because the Phillies have a lead they cannot come back from. But isn't that unbelievable? 6 straight, and I think 20 in the last
impressive
26 years.
That is very impressive.
Yeah, and really the other thing that's impressive, considering this team are where they are with the loss of so many players. This is a team that they lost their the reigning MVP from last year. They lost a potential Cy Young Award winner. They lost an all-star third baseman, all-star second baseman, a rising star center fielder who just recently came back. So yeah, I mean, this team, when you take four all-star level players off your team, it's amazing they find themselves, like you said, 14 games on 500 and just inches away from getting to the playoffs. So big shout out to the Braves, no matter what happens to them.
Oh yeah, that's hard to do when you lose all of those all stars.
Please. Well, speaking of big games, it was two thrillers, two absolute thrillers that we had a chance to not only watch but broadcast live in person. First, we did something we don't do a lot of, but we did a Thursday night special as we traveled up the road to DeKalb County to see two regional opponents square off, who at the time both I think were 2-0 coming into the conquest in their region, as the Southwest DeKalb Panthers hosted the St. Pius Golden Lions, and it was one for the ages. Final score: Golden Lions 28, DeKalb 27 in overtime.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it
it
went to
was.
overtime.
I was a thriller. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those kind of situations where it was a tale of two halves. First half totally dominated by Southwest DeKalb for most of the first half. They actually had a 21-3 lead. St. Pius got a touchdown late to make it 21-10, and then that momentum carried into the second half, and St. Pius held the ball because they got it to start the second half. They held the ball a staggering 7, almost 8 minutes. They only played 12-minute quarters there, and they scored to cut the lead to 21-16. And then a little trickeration as they did some type of swinging gate play, a little
Mhm.
trickeration to get the 2-point conversion and cut it to 21-18. Well, now Southwest DeKalb gets the ball back. They don't have much time in the third quarter. They try to go on a little bit of a drive. They cannot do it. And that was really kind of the turning point of the game. They had an opportunity to kind of get some more points and maybe put the game out of reach. They did not. To their credit, their defense hung in there, but late in the fourth quarter, with about 2 seconds left to go, St. Pius kicks the game time field goal, sending overtime. St. Pius,
Oh,
oh, that was crazy. That was unbelievable. So now St. Pius gets the ball first. They score, and now it's up to Southwest DeKalb to score to keep it rolling. They score a touchdown, and they decide we're going to try to win it right here.
don't
And
blame them.
they said, we're going to try to get them. We're at home, and it's a wrap. So we're going to try to get this thing and go to the house. Unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, it was an outstanding play by the defensive back of St. Pius, were at the last second of the end zone, knocked the ball away, and St. Pius ended up winning 28-27. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can get a little clip of that,
Okay.
put that up
It
here.
was a very exciting game down to the last wire.
That was incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Let's see if I can get that and put that on screen so people can see that and see the last moments of that game. Let's see if we can do this here. Let's see if my production will work today. Let's see. We'll pop it up here. Oh, look at this. It actually looks like it makes. Praise the Lord. Let's see here. We'll get them all in here. Dun, 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 dun. And hopefully it'll pop up and you guys can take a look at that. And then Friday night, I had another thriller on top of that. So yeah, it was back to back.
Okay, so what was the thriller Friday night?
Friday night thriller was the Jonesboro Cardinals also hosting a regional opponent coming up from just outside of Columbus, Georgia. It was the Harris County took them on, and what a game it was. Final score of that game, Jonesboro 14, Harris County 12. So it was another thriller. Let's take a look and see if this is the game-winning play. Hopefully it is. Let's cue it up.
Southwest DeKalb going for 2 in overtime to try to win it. Guys looking tall, and it's incomplete. Ball game is over.
Incredible. That was the final play of the game. As you can see, the ball was tipped away just at the last second. And yeah, Southwest DeKalb was able to, unfortunately, St. Pius was able to hold on for the victory 28-27. just 1 point
Oh,
victory.
close
Just like I said,
one.
incredible. Oh yeah, it's just incredible. And so we were excited to be able to be there and call that in person. I think we were one of only two outlets that were actually streaming the game, so people have popped on to take a look at what we did, and we appreciate all those of you, especially you St. Pius guys, that for the first time being introduced to Real Talk Sports, seeing a thriller in Manila. Speaking of thriller, let's go here and listen to the two coaches as they talked about how their teams fared in this game. First, we'll hear a little bit from the head coach from the winning team, St. Pius. Let's pop on here. I think I got it. And there it
He
is.
made a great play. He was in great position. He knocked it out of his hand. Just did a super job. I'm really proud of all of our kids tonight.
A couple more, I'll let you go. Just talk about how you're able to have such a great team, coach. Every single year you bring them, and they always competitive in battle. Just talk a little bit about that.
Well, that's our kids. You know, there's three things that don't ever change at St. Pius. One, it's our kids. Two, it's our community. And three, it's our support from our administration and our faculty. They are unbelievable in supporting our kids and doing what we need to do. But we've just got blue-collar kids who work their butts off to get better every day.
All right, last question, coach.
And that was the head coach. And I also was able to speak to the losing coach. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult with those types of games, but fortunately, the head coach was very gracious of Southwest DeKalb to come on and talk about and give his comments after his team's very tough loss in this ball game.
You guys know what we do. We're on the field here, wrapping up here. This is why we call it Game of the Week. Sensational game here at DeKalb County. We have the head coach from the losing team. By this 1 point, he's going to introduce himself to you right now.
How you doing? Marion Bell III, Southwest DeKalb High School head football coach.
Coach, a heck of a game. That's why we call it Game of the Week. Two great teams in the region. What was really the turning point for you guys in this game?
Down the stretch, we just made a couple of mistakes that we shouldn't have, and I'm gonna take the weight for it. I'm the head coach. It's on me.
Well, you owned up, but
Can't beat that.
I like
Coach
the
said, hey,
accountability.
right. He said it's on me.
And it is. When you're
Right.
the head coach, it is on you. So I love to hear that. You don't hear that too often.
You surely don't. You surely don't. And I'm just very impressed that the coach was willing to come with us and even speak after, because a lot of times after games, what happens, the losing coach grabs their team and they beeline out of there. But
I'm
to his
sure.
credit, I actually know one of the substitute teachers there, and he said, "Coach, could you hang on for a second?" And he was nice enough to hang on, let me do the interview with the other coach, get down to the field, and take a minute or two to talk to us. So, Coach Marion Bell III, we appreciate you, and we'll have the rest of his interview up on YouTube later on today or tomorrow, so you guys can see that. But yeah, just great stuff. And then part two was Friday. As we went back in our own homestead, we went to Tara Stadium, where, as you know, we live stream the games all the time. As I mentioned, Jonesboro against Harris County, and once again, a thriller. And same thing. Jonesboro was up 14-3 at the half. Harris County came back, and Tree had an opportunity to tie the game. Okay, they scored. They were down 14-6. They get the score. The sidelines are going wild. And then you know what happens. Flag. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So now instead of trying to get your 2-point conversion from the 2, they have to do it from the 17.
Wow. Yeah,
Well, of
no.
course, this Harris County was an excellent running team, but they weren't too good of a passing team. And Jonesboro, they have I think a 3-star prospect who is signed to Georgia, Mr. John Tavius Lyman. He smacked the ball, actually did an interception in the end zone, and it looked like ball game over. But there's always the kickoff. And Harris County, I don't know how often they practice this. I don't know what happened, but they did an onside kick. The ball bounced twice up in the air, and Harris County up man caught the ball in full stride. Had not been him getting bumped, he would have scored the winning touchdown right then and there. But no, they get the ball. They look like they're moving. And then our good buddy, Coach Floyd, says, I'm going to go for broke. He called a weak side blitz, and the I think it was a safety, was untouched. Fumble. Jonesboro recovered, ran out the clock. So our final score, Jonesboro 14 and Harris County 12. And the cool thing is that we were actually the spotter for the 92.9 the game high school postseason. They do the post game from 9 or is it 8 to 12. And we actually were able to come on the air and let the coach come on the air. And I found out today that they awarded him Coach of the Week for high school football.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So yeah, good stuff. So yeah, it was just really excellent to be out there and to be able to cover both those games and to have a chance to see, like I said, two absolute thrillers.
Yeah.
And Tree, it's interesting because up where you are, you may not know, one of the most dominant teams, not only in Georgia but in the country, play not too far from you. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Milton High School is ranked number one overall in Georgia, and at last poll, they were ranked number one in Georgia and number 8 in the entire country.
I did not know that. I did not know that they were number 8 in the entire country.
In the country,
wow,
they're one of the best teams out there, and at last
Impressive.
blush, yeah, isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Now, Milton, the high school, is it actually in Alpharetta? Are you aware, or is it a little bit outside the outskirts? Because I've never been up there.
No, it's in Milton.
It's in Milton, okay, and Milton is next door to Alpharetta.
So yeah, so I know a lot of people don't get it, but
Right.
so there was Alpharetta, and then they started adding these different things, and then Milton wanted to be its own city. So it's literally next door to Alpharetta, but it's called Milton, which actually Milton is a very nice size. So it is a different city, but yes, it's next door to Alpharetta. And for those who have not been to Milton High School, because I actually knew, my honorary brother, Sam, his niece used to go to Milton. She used to cheer at Milton. And the high school is really phenomenal. Back at that time, they had just built this new Milton school, and it is phenomenal. The facilities are amazing. The school is amazing. So I'm not surprised, but I'm very happy to hear that the football team is really excelling and doing so well.
Yeah, they are. And now that you mentioned that about the school facilities, and I gotta turn back. I actually did. It's probably about maybe 8 or 9 years ago when I was still doing some things for AIB TV. We actually went there because a gentleman I met in a networking event held a huge tournament where they actually brought in some guys from the IMG Academy and a couple other schools, and Milton was part of that. So I did actually go to the school, and it was definitely impressive.
Yeah, they do a lot of camps and different things there. Mm-hmm.
Let's go here to take a peek on social media. And Morris Shields is correcting me about the recap show for high school 92.9 is in fact 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. And I don't know if Morris is the guy or not, but when I posted up that winning score, there was a gentleman that simply typed in, "Hey, I was the referee for that game."
Oh, cool.
I don't know if that's you or not, but anyway, yeah, the guy hit me up on YouTube and said he reffed the game, and he said he even told both coaches when they're about to do the coin flip, for the overtime, how impressed he was and how well played the game was. So yeah, it was like you said, I couldn't ask for 2 better high school football games, 4 great teams from various parts of the state, and to all you guys that played, the entire group and staff of St. Pius, Southwest DeKalb, Jonesboro, and Harris County. Kudos and thumbs up to all 4 of you schools because you guys gave us 2 games for the ages, so we appreciate you. Yes, indeed. All right, we're going to go to a break because we got to talk a little bit more of football. This time, some college football, Tree. We saw some interesting things over the weekend. If you guys want to find out what those were, keep it locked right here on the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be right back. Please don't go nowhere because we love you and we need you to watch our show. Hold on.
Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm Aria, the first AI presenter for Real Talk Sports. We want to get your feedback about my participations in the show, so please leave comments. So stay tuned, the Real Talk Sports Show is coming up.
Looking for a vehicle? Come to Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We're a family-owned dealership that's been serving the Atlanta area for over 40 years, offering an unbeatable selection of new Fords, Lincolns, and pre-owned vehicles. Enjoy our exceptional customer service and great financing options tailored just for you. Visit us at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in Morrow, Georgia, located just 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Call us at 678-364-3979 or visit online at allenvigilford.net.
That's right. Check them out. They are title sponsors for high school football. Also, I happen to be a representative there. So if you need a vehicle for yourself or for your family or even for your business, that's really what I do. Is I do a lot of B2B sales. But even if you need one for yourself or your family, give me a call. I'll pop my phone number quickly up on the screen. Call me up at 678-410-9833. I'll be more than happy to assist you. There it is. There's the right number. 678-410-9833. Love to give you a hand. And if you need anything in the way of an automobile of any type, truck, car, SUV, I can help you out. 678-410-9833. Well, Tree, yeah, it's now we're in the thick of college football season. It's been topsy turvy because you have all of these new configurations with these now no longer the Big Five, it's the Big Four. You have all these teams that have shifted to the SEC and the ACC, and it's been very interesting to see how this stuff is shaking out.
Very. And I
Yeah,
must
it's been
say
crazy.
that I am very excited to see the things that are happening and the new teams that have joined the SEC and just the football that's being played. It's really phenomenal.
Yeah, it's funny. They had they I don't say it's a meme necessarily, but evidently when the Boomer Sooner wagon came out when they were playing against Tennessee, it did not go well. They made it about 100 feet onto the field and it rolled over. And unfortunately, Oklahoma got rolled over by Tennessee. Tennessee beat them down pretty good. Big shout out to the Volunteers as they have been rolling. They beat Oklahoma 25-15. Oklahoma came into that game ranked 21. And Tree, can you believe Tennessee is the number 5 ranked team in the nation this year so far?
Yeah, I can believe it. For the past few years, you've seen how they're playing really great football. So it is something that I have expected to happen. And so I'm just happy to see that their hard work is paying off. I think that the way that they're playing, and if they can continue, we'll see. But I'm happy for the Vols.
Yeah, Volunteers to me have one of the best. Well, no disrespect to Michigan, but I think they have one of the best fight songs in all of college. I mean, I know Michigan is a classic, but there's something about
Listen,
no. I mean,
oh, that's funny.
they
I
do.
mean, so this is the thing. There is no disrespect taken.
Okay,
You
I know
can
you.
like somebody else's fight song,
Yeah, the fight song.
but
It's just something
but
about
thank
that
you.
Rocky Top. Something
Yeah.
about that Rocky Top, man. I think what it is I heard it really for the first time as far as in person. Is I went to
Yes.
the 2008 SEC championship, and when they came out, the guy comes out in a little orange sweater and white pants and a big flag, the big orange flag with the white tee, and they separate the stand. Most of the guys are on one side for one team, and the other team on the other side. And for me to hear about 35, 40,000 people singing Rocky Top, yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, really. I
I've
mean,
heard it.
literally,
It
yeah.
is pretty cool, but hey, again, that's your preference. But regardless of that,
Uh-oh.
my Michigan Wolverines has the the best stadium in college football. Actually, it's not even college, but we have our stadium is one of the best in the world. Did you know that? I knew that. And we
Wow.
fill so many seats. And so when you hear all of those amazing people singing, "Hail to the victors," I mean, I can go on and on, but I won't. But the point is, to me, that is my favorite fight song. But I get that we all have a different preference. But yes, go blue.
Wow. Wow. Oh,
Hail to the
geez.
victors.
Well, I guess we got to give him a little love. Let's go social media real quick here. Uh-oh, you got yourself a friend, Mr. Morris
Go
Shields. He agreed. He
blue,
said, go
yes,
blue. He said, go
go
blue.
blue. Yes, go blue. I bleed blue. And speaking of my Wolverines, I'm so happy to see that we are moving up. We're moving up. So that's really good to see. We didn't
Yeah,
start the season so great, but like I always say, and I say this every year, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So we'll see what happens.
that is correct, the moon, though. It is, in fact, how you start, not your finish. I mean, how you finish, and not your start. We get that. And Michigan has come roaring back. They are now once again in the top 15 in the country. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the top 25.
Let's do it.
Number one, you know who, Tree?
It was Texas.
The Longhorns of Texas are number one.
Longhorns.
4-0 undefeated so far. Georgia Bulldogs, who came in the preseason #1, are behind them now at #2. The Ohio State Buckeyes holding tight at #3 as they were. The
3-0.
Crimson Tide, yeah, 3-0. Yep, Alabama Crimson Tide at 3-0 at #4. Tennessee at 5. Ole Miss, big shout out to Dexter Davis, and from the NFLPA. His son is a defensive back there at Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is shaking them up there. The
They
Miami
dropped.
Kings at #7. A team that kind of faded out a little bit last season, but they're back at #7. The Oregon Fighting Ducks at #8. The Penn State Nittany Lions, also undefeated at #9. The Utah Utes, also at 4-0. #10. The surprising Missouri from the Show Me State. They're showing you #11 overall. The Michiganders, go blue, #12. USC, even though they have one loss, they open the season up with a loss. They are 2-1. They've climbed back up. LSU has climbed back up into the upper echelon. They're ranked now #14. The Louisville Cardinals moved up from 19 to 15 after they laid it on Georgia Tech at home. They are also at 3-0. Notre Dame, 3-1 at #16. Clemson, #17 at 2-1. Iowa State, after knocking off Iowa a few weeks ago, they find themselves at 3-0. They are at #18. The Illini of Illinois, a shocker, 4-0 at 19, and rounding off the top 20, Oklahoma State, just inches ahead of their rival Oklahoma. Both of them at 3-1, but the Cowboys find themselves at #20. Again, top 5 real quick. Texas #1, Georgia 2, Ohio State 3, Alabama 4, and Tennessee 5. So you got a bunch of SEC teams. 1, 2.
I was just about to say that. Four out of the top 5 are SEC.
But Tree, as you said, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. I remember a few years ago, the SEC actually had 3 of the 4 teams in the 14 playoffs in the ranking, including Mississippi and Mississippi State. But neither one of them got anywhere near the Final Four. So,
yeah, I mean, and hello, everybody that talks about the SEC, let's not forget that the reigning national champions are the Michigan Wolverines from the Big Ten. So
here we
go
go.
blue, go Big Ten. I'm just saying, listen, here we go, me. You already know it's coming all season long because you, Jonathan, and other people, what did you guys always tell me? What did you guys tell me for the past, 3 years? Oh, the Big Ten can't hang with the SEC. You guys can't handle Georgia. You guys can't handle Alabama. You remember all this, right, Jonathan? You remember. Don't get amnesia on me. So my point is, the Big Ten can hang with anybody, and we are the national champions. So make sure that you all put some respect on Michigan and put some respect on the Big Ten. That's all I'm saying. Yes, the SEC is phenomenal. I'm not taking that away, but so is the Big Ten. And Michigan is the winningest program in the history of football, yes, and Ohio State is #2, then it's Alabama. So let's just make sure that we know the statistics when everybody wants to talk about the SEC. Winningest program is Big Ten. #2, Ohio State, Big Ten. Okay, I digress.
Yeah, see what one national title does for you. See that? See, that's what I'm here.
Did you really just say one national?
Recently, one recent one.
Oh, okay. There we go. Right. Todd said, "Tree, Michigan is." I agree, Todd. I agree. We are definitely rebuilding. I didn't say we're going to win a national championship this year, but I'm just making sure that all year long. Todd said, "Let's make sure on that." So all year long, you guys are going to hear me talking about us being national champions until someone else takes the reign. That's all I'm saying. We are the reigning national champions, and I am not going to let it go.
Yeah. Well, you hear it, guys, right there. I mean, listen, but that's what you want, though. You want a fans base that shows the love. You don't want people that are just bandwagon riders. Tree has been talking about Michiganders since we have been on this show. Before they went to the national title game, she kept telling me,
Yes,
Jonathan, we can play with anybody.
I
And
have.
finally, they had their chance, and they knocked off the beast from the SEC, Alabama, and then handled Washington, putting so much pressure on Michael Penix, reduced him to being just an ordinary quarterback as they rolled and won in fine style last year, taking nothing away from the Michigan Wolverines. They did a great job. They really did.
And put the most players in the NFL. I mean, I can keep going on and on and on, but let me just stop with the stats. Let me stop. Let me stop. I can. I'm just saying. I can go on and on about the Michigan Wolverines, but I'll stop. I'll stop.
She's rolling, boys. I'm just
I'm
saying
rolling.
she's rolling.
I
Talking about
got I
her.
got a lot more, but I digress.
Well, like I said, it's going to be a very interesting college football season. The way everything is aligned. To me, the goofiest thing. I mean, I just think it's goofy that USC and UCLA are in and whoever else is in the Big Ten. Um, I just think is goofy. I've always enjoyed the rivalry between the Pac-12 and Pac-8, whoever you want to put together in the Big Ten. I thought that was always must-see TV as they matched up in multiple bowl games and built rivalries that was over 40 or 50 years. So I guess the OG in me is a little disappointed, but nevertheless, hey, time marches on. You got 12 teams in the playoffs, so I'm sure they'll match up again as they go in postseason. What's Todd saying there, Tree?
It said Texas will face UGA in national championship, and Dogs will win it. Write this down. We got you, Todd. So he's saying that the Dogs are going to play Texas for the national championship. Me personally, if I had to pick today, I don't think so. But that is a great pick.
No, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's. I
I
mean,
I
I
I
can
don't
see it.
think so this year, but I can see Texas possibly being there. We'll have to see about your Dogs, Todd. We'll have to see.
Well, one thing about Texas that's going to be interesting is they could potentially have a quarterback controversy. You have a in Evers coming back, a guy who has been a stud, a guy who has done all you could ask him to do for Texas, and a guy who's a Heisman Trophy candidate finds himself with some stiff competition from a guy that's got some really serious DNA. And I'm talking about Arch Manning. When Manning came in and was able to get in the game, he was electric. 4 touchdown passes, had a 67-yard run, and everybody was saying, "Tree, oh, I can't believe the Mannings don't run that way." That's because y'all don't know history. He gets that from Grandpa. Archie Manning was a running quarterback. Now you have to go in the archives, but go look at Archie
Your
Manning.
favorite kind of quarterback.
He was a bad man. Yeah, he was a bad man. Unfortunately, was drafted by the Saints when they were terrible, and sadly, he played. I think 9 of his 10 years that he played in National Football League, the Saints were able to only have one winning season. They were 8-8, I think, in his next to last season. But the guy was must see TV. He was electric, and especially when he was in college at Mississippi. I mean, he was like a legend. I mean,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
just
I think
incredible.
that's why his son went there, which I'm sure is an honor to play quarterback at the same school that your father played quarterback for. That's just something that's really impressive. And then, of course, we know Peyton went to University of Tennessee. So they both picked really great SEC schools and have phenomenal college careers. And you can't tell me that it's definitely not due to their father. Yes, they had great coaches, but their father was their number one coach and has been teaching them. And it's just really phenomenal, the family history in the sport.
Yeah, and it's really tremendous, to see Archie and to be able to, not ever having get in the playoffs himself, and then between his two sons, they having won 4 Super Bowls. So I mean, it's a cool thing that they were able to do something his dad wasn't going to do, but keep it in the family name. And I think Arch Manning will, yeah, he might be, who knows, with his wheels, he might turn out to be the best of all. You never know, which will be a big statement because both Peyton and Eli, 2 Super Bowls apiece. Peyton already in the Hall of Fame. Eli's got a shot. So yeah, but
Does he? Okay.
well, here's the thing. Even though he's not a record-setting passer, as he did in the comedy rap that he said, "Hey, I know everybody thinks that Tom Brady's nice, but I took down the GOAT and beat him twice. And he can say something nobody else can say.
Yeah, but that doesn't put you in the Hall of Fame that you beat somebody twice.
Well, no, it's not so much of that, but at the end of the day, he's got. I think he was MVP in both those Super Bowls. I know he was in at least one, and that's a pretty big statement.
Oh yeah,
So
that is. Well, I don't know. I don't vote. I don't have a vote for the Pro Football Hall of Fame,
you
so
say, hey, help the
I
guy
can't
get in.
say
I got no skin in the game.
who's going to get in and who's not going to get. I can tell you who I know for a fact will get in. Tom Brady. I know that for a fact. I know when he's eligible to be inducted
First
into the
ballot.
Pro Football Hall of Fame, I have a feeling he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But yeah, I have no clue. I can't tell you. I just get excited anytime any person comes into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I am just very happy for them and their families because I know that anybody that plays professional football, of course, that's your ultimate goal. And it just is amazing to see all of the hard work that they have had has paid off. And you see people get emotional and it's just really phenomenal. So it's a blessing whenever anybody gets inducted. And it would be nice if the two brothers could both get inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, I think Eli's got a shot. We obviously know Peyton's already in there, first ballot guy himself. Tom Brady. I mean, yeah, I mean it might be. I don't know if they count the votes unanimous, not unanimous. I just guess it's your first ballot, but I would think he would be a unanimous pick for a Hall of Fame if
I
they
would
did that
think
way.
so.
Right? Yes, there's
I
no doubt
definitely
about
would
that.
think so.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any question about him.
none at all.
And yeah, remind me later to come back to this conversation in future. There's something that I want to talk to you about, but I don't know if I have permission to say it yet. I have to wait until it comes out in the news and then I can speak on it. So I don't want to be the one to speak on it first, but
Okay.
remind me that we have something to talk about that you had mentioned in the past.
So we got something to talk about. All right, let's go to social media here real quickly before we go to the break. We had
Morris
that most.
Shields says UGA had holes to fill. Okay. Where is UGA pass rush?
Yeah, well,
Gotta
here's
have
the
that
thing.
pass rush.
Right. The thing about it is that there's no question. We saw a little bit of that last year. It is hard to duplicate what they did in those back-to-back, national championships because they have, I think, at least a half a dozen guys off that defense that are playing NFL, and they have none of those guys now, and it appears that they don't have any guys up to that talent level. So, the idea that Todd's thinking that they're going to win a national championship, so far they haven't passed that kind of eye test. I'm just saying, so far. So.
Yeah, but I love it because it's like you with the Falcons. Todd is serious about his Georgia Bulldogs and he's going to support them and root them on, same way I did with my Lions and my Michigan Wolverines and all of that. So you never know. I mean, it's still the start of the season. You never know what may happen. Stranger things have happened at the end of the season. The one thing that I do love about the Georgia Bulldogs, I love that the coach used to play there and now
Right.
he's the head coach. So it's so nice to see him bringing so much success to their school and to the sport that he once played. And he's now in a coaching position, but was once in the position of the student. So I think that is just a phenomenal story. And I love seeing things like that happening in sports.
Look who's back.
Sullivan. He said, "Oh, shucky ducky tree." Hey, Sullivan. He said, "Oh,
What's up?
shucky ducky, Pastor J Slice, but not on the green."
On the green, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Not on the green. He said, "Oh, shucky ducky, the one and only Sully is back." Yes, Sully, we missed you.
Yeah, we've
Welcome
actually
back.
been talking about you, bro. Yeah, welcome back, man. We good to see you back in the mix. Glad you're here, man. And I hear, bro, you might have to send Tria honorarium, man. She told me she's been like a frequent. Don't you have like those frequent diner cards? Like buy 8 meals,
That's
get
a
one
good
free or
point.
something. Yeah, the
I don't know about the buy one get one free, but maybe a little card. They have this
card.
place in
Yeah,
Detroit where every time you go in, they stamp, and then after you fill up your card, you get a free meal. He's
I,
laughing.
you might have something there, Tree. I mean, and look, what better representative than the Queen for a you know, a nice meal. Listen, we're gonna take a little break, and speaking of a nice meal, let you guys take a look at what we dined on, and then we'll be back to talk. You know what? Our favorite team sometimes, the Atlanta Falcons. But let's take a look and see if we have a little clip from when we had a chance to visit Sully's restaurant, and we got a chance to taste that phenomenal food. Let's see if the clip is still here. Here it is. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, guys, as you can see, Sully told the truth as advertised. This is the turkey burger and fries. And the queen has, what do you have?
Chicken. I have a wonderful chicken sandwich with cheese, lemonade, no ice, and fries.
Good stuff. And there's mine, and we're about to chow down.
We got down, boys. All right. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, sports fans, tune in for live high school football Fridays, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at Allen Vigil Ford.
Congratulations, Amici, on your new F-250 that you got from us. How was the experience here at Allen Vigil Ford?
Thank you so much, Jonathan, man. I appreciate everything you did for me, man. This is awesome right here. And you did, I mean, your service is impeccable, man.
Just want to say congratulations on getting your new F-350 from us here at Allen Vigil Ford. Thank you for your business.
Thank you.
Congratulations. What do you think? Is it worth the wait, buddy?
I love it. I can't wait to get on the road with it.
Well, listen, man, thank you very much, and congratulations to you. Appreciate your business.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate your business.
Thank you, Ron.
As you can see, a lot of happy customers, guys. So if you want to get that same type of service, give us a call. Again, 678-410-9833, and we'll hook you up. I don't care if it's for you, for your family. Doesn't matter. Great deals and great service at Allen Vigil Ford. Well, our weekend was capped off on Sunday. A raucous crowd filled Mercedes-Benz Stadium as the not one but two-time defending champion Kansas City Chiefs rolled into the building. And there was plenty of excitement, and then suddenly things started to go wrong. But in order to get a full understanding, we have the man who is the embedded beat writer for the AGC for the Atlanta Falcons. He is also an award-winning Hall of Fame sports writer, and he's Esquire par excellence. And he wears a mean fedora and a great bow tie. The one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter is back in the building. D. Led, what's cooking, man?
Hey, Reverend, not too much. Thanks for having me on the show today. Good to see you and Miss Tree, and ready to talk a little football here.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I love your shirt, D-Led.
Nice.
Thank
nice.
you,
Let's get closer with that. There we go. Hall of Fame, baby. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. But D-Led, it was like you said, it was a great turnout, great crowd. You know, they were waving the white flag, but in a good way for most of that ball game until things kind of went to the left. What was your take on that? Matter of fact, and also I didn't even get a chance to get you on 2 seconds. Our man Todd always got a question for you. Tree, go ahead, fire away. What's Todd's question?
I said, D-Led, question. Can you hook up the Falcons head trainer to a lie detector machine? Kirk still looks hurt to me. Falcons, they playing us, man. Laugh out loud.
Yeah, no, they're not playing you, Todd. You know, just from reading the papers and following sports, that it takes a year to recover from Achilles surgery. So nobody's expecting him to be his old self this year. You know, that it takes a whole year. You can go back to, you know, Brett Grimes. You know, I don't know what you were expecting, but yeah, if you study you know, if you've been paying attention to the folks who've been writing about Achilles injuries, it's the first year that they, you know, kind of feel their way back, and they're not fully close to 100% to that second year. So I don't think nobody's been fooling anybody in that regard.
Yeah, it's for you. Let's see. You also have yep. Oh, that's my buddy Sullivan. He say he's watching with the wife and kids watching the show. So we
I'm
appreciate
with
you
the wife and kids watching the show. Hi, wife and kids. I've seen pictures of his family. They are so cute. I love it.
So D-Led, that
Glad you
gentleman,
guys are tuning in.
he's been a long time supporter of the show. and him and his family own about I think about six of the well they own it's all
Village
six.
Burgers.
Village Burger. They have them all around. Great burgers, great food. It's all like real food, nothing in the microwave. So we appreciate them and appreciate him from being a long time supporter of the show. D-Lab, where do you really think it went wrong? It seemed like in the first half they were kind of going toe to toe with Kansas City, especially that first drive again, uh, crisp right down the field. What do you think kind of went to the left, especially in the second half?
Yeah, well, they scored on two of their first three drives, so that's good. They couldn't sustain it. The offense, was not functioning. At the end of the half, they get the ball back. It's 14-10. They got 2:43. They need a drive there, but they go out, pick up 2 yards. Then, they get sacked, and Bijan has to kick the ball out of bounds. Then he picks up a Bible and he's got to punt it. So the 3-and-out when you got to take control. Good teams take control of the games right there. So because the Chiefs are coming out with the ball, they get the ball to start the second half. So you do absolutely nothing on that drive. The Chiefs get the ball back, go get another field goal. So now it's 14-13 at the half, and the Chiefs are getting the ball. So they lost control of the game right there, right before the half. Chiefs get the ball, they score, go up, take the lead 16-14. You get the ball back, you got to answer. You didn't answer. And so they got the ball back, 3-and-out again, and you have to punt. And the Chiefs go down, score a touchdown. It's 22-14. They got control of the game, and now you're scrambling back. And you almost make it back. You get a field goal, then you get 2 chances to score, and you can't do it. And the one thing that, in review of the game, that explains that just disjointed play is the fact that they can't convert on third downs. They're 2-9 on third downs in every game this year. And I looked at all 27 of them today. It's 6-27. And it's no real pattern. It's just bad execution. They only got 2 sacks. The numbers are there are a lot of that were like 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 18s, 3rd and 9s. You're not gonna get those. So throw those 9 out. And so then I get it down to 18, and I'm still 6-18. That's still only 33%. So they're not operating. Whatever they're doing on third down day on Thursday, they need to change their third down practice day and put stuff in there that's gonna work. Maybe they're trying to do too much. Maybe they need to just do something real simple. It's sport. They missed a lot of short ones too. A lot of 3rd and 4s, a lot of 3rd and 2s. So maybe it doesn't need to be that complex. Maybe it is the tush push. Maybe it is the I formation. Maybe you don't have to be all fancy and go get the 2 yards when you need the 2 yards. So that's where they're at. But they didn't practice in the exhibition season. So, they're trying to put it all together here in live football games, and it looks a little raggedy at times still here 3 games in.
Wow. Tree, comments or questions for D-Led?
Yeah, thank you for that great analysis. And what are you seeing that makes you feel promising about the Falcons from what you've seen that has improved since game 1?
The defense has been on the field a lot, and they're doing a good job, but it's not sustainable. They've been on the field for 12 drives that have gone for at least 10 plays. That's a lot. But they're not giving up touchdowns. They're giving up field goals. They've held the teams to, they've only scored 9 of the 12 times. Like the opening drive against the Chiefs. The Chiefs drive for 17 plays, but then Justin Simmons picks them off. So, hey, you take that. But they're holding them to field goals. But the fact that the offense isn't converting on third downs is keeping their defense out there. But this is good work for them because the offense is going to get better. And they already know they can shut people down and hold them to field goals because the 3 teams they've opened with were all playoff teams. So that's been the takeaway from me from the beginning of the season that, hey, this defense is in pretty good shape and they're making some plays and they're going to get better. So that's that's the real good takeaway. That means this team's going to have a chance to get to where they want to be this year because you're going to have a good defense and you think the offense is going to, get better along the way also.
Love it.
Tree, you psyched up. She like defense, D-Led. She's psyched on that. Let's go to social media. What's cooking there? Is that HC Hardy, Tree?
Yes, HC Hardy. Hey, he said, do you feel from the last 3 games that it could be beneficial for the Falcons to have a package for Phoenix in certain game situations?
I don't know. No, I just got done watching the first series on the evolution of the black quarterback, and that Michael Vick has put out there, and that's some pretty good stuff. Everybody should go see that. No, they don't have a pen. They don't have the package ready for the starting quarterback. They need to fix that package first before we start worrying about Penix. They're just 2-9 on third down, 6-27. They got to fix the real offense first. And let Penix keep running the scout team and getting better in practice. He's not an option quarterback. You can't put RPOs in there and think he's going to run. That's not him. He's a drop back quarterback too. Left-handed quarterback who moves a little bit, but he's got, he's not a running quarterback if that's what you want to package in there for.
What's he saying there again, Tree?
HC Hardy said, I understand he didn't want to get fined, but the answer that was given pertaining to Pitt's press conference could have been answered. Just didn't like his response.
I'm fine. We got a call for the pool report, so I have to call the league office as a pool reporter and get the referee on the phone, and so I grilled him pretty good. And so then I came in, the coach was like, hey, what's up with that play? And he's like, I like my money, Led. I don't like it fine. He could have talked about the play in generalities, but he's the first time head coach. He doesn't even want to get close to it and potentially get fined. And then so Monday he's like, hey, I appreciate y'all calling the league on that, but I was like, yeah, I understand, you not want to get fined, but hey, that's all we can do in those situations is get the pool report because it looked rather obvious to the fans that he was tackling him. I thought he was making a wedding proposal to Kyle in the end zone there. Got him wrapped up so tight. Like, would you be my man?
Yeah, it almost not quite as bad, but almost as bad as that infamous New Orleans Rams thing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so blatant. I mean, I'm watching the game. I'm thinking, oh, great, they're gonna throw a flag, and then like all of a sudden, nothing. I'm like, what?
That was. But hey, that didn't cost them the game. They had a chance to win it anyway. So, it was a bad call, but you gotta figure you're gonna have some bad calls. You gotta play through them.
Dude, I got a question for you, and I have not seen this. Matt Ryan did a little bit of this when he had Tony Gonzalez. I'm thinking if you have, whether it's been Julio in the past or now you have, in the case of Kyle Pitts, you have guys that are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Maybe I don't get it, but to me, I'm running that post when you get in that red zone, and my target is not even the player. I'm throwing that ball right at the lower bar of the goalpost. Because I'm thinking to myself, you're going to get pass interference, or guy's going to make a play.
Well, Tony was a basketball player, remember? And at Cal with Jason Kidd. And he basically would block people out. He would go 10 yards and then post up and wait for the ball. And they practiced that. I mean, that's how they got to the championship. That's how they got to the Super Bowl in that Seattle game. Tony runs down the field, posts the guy up. Matt throws it up high where he can go get it, And Cousins and Pitts haven't been together long enough to work out, stuff like that. The intricacies of, how you're going to attack people, how you're going to beat people. He was behind Brian Cook. You probably wanted him in front of him. So, that was. But I talked to Kyle too, and Kyle was like, "Hey, I got to come up with the ball no matter what." He was real good about it. He didn't, point any fingers or anything. He's just like, hey, I just got to make the catch. I don't care how tough it is. I got to get the ball. And
Right.
so I thought that was a good sign of maturity by Cal Pitts.
Yeah, man up, man. I mean, no doubt about it. But I've always, of course, I thought about that even after Tony left, because I used to watch Hulu in the warm-ups, man, and he would routinely be well over that crossbar. I'm thinking, hey, man, just throw the ball toward the crossbar, because at the end of the day, either the ball is not going to be caught, which you don't have to worry about interception, or I think a lot of times if it's not caught, you're going to get interference. That's just me. I've
Well,
always wondered why they didn't do that.
that and I'm a West Coast guy. Sherman Lewis used to draw it up for me in Green Bay, help me out to understand things. And I don't know why they don't throw the slants to Drake London. He's supposed to be the big receiver that can go get stuff. I want him inside of the D-back. And them short ones, that's the simplest play. We don't need a 5 route empty backfield play every time. Line it up, let him run a slant, put it on him, and keep the ball moving. So Zach Robinson's a smart man. Him and TJ Yates, they'll figure it out. I think what they're doing is they're trying to do too much on third down. They need to find 5 or 10 plays and what works, and then stick with that.
I think he's H.C. Hardy's
HC
got.
Hardy. Yeah, HC Hardy said, if I'm correct, haven't the Falcons been having red zone issues even in the Matt Ryan era from the 20-yard line when the field gets smaller?
No, that wasn't Matt Ryan era. They were at 75% under Mike. Mike Mularkey wanted to be 75% on third downs, and he was pretty much there all the time. Matt Ryan in the years after, after the Super Bowl year, everything kind of went, south. So, and even that year, Kyle could move between the 20s, and you took the field goals there. But no, the red zone was awesome for Matt Ryan, and they ran Jason Snelling off of Tony Gonzalez. They pulled people away to get somebody free. Mike Mularkey would run power with Michael Turner. In the lead fullback, they've had some old school football stuff that worked, and they were generally in the top part of the league. And I'm talking about 08 to 08 to 16. So, everything after 16 is, it kind of went downhill. So, no, that's not true.
And speaking of fullback, D-Led, I bumped into, and he still looks great now, bumped into one of the all-time best, Ovi Mahaley. Saw him at the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
Ovi.
guy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he was a real honest fullback. No halfback, no H-back. Ovi was old school fullback.
Yeah, Ovi came to practice last year, and he was like, I was like, Ovi, they might need you out there. He's like, no, I'm a guard now. he said he's a guard. But speaking of fullbacks, on that 4th and 1, when you go back and watch the film, you see that Tyler Algier is playing fullback, and he misses the block. He goes to block Brian Cook, and clearly creates a hole for Bolton to shoot through and get the sack. Now, Keith Smith hit me on Twitter saying, "How do you know that's his assignment?" I'm like, "Cause my little league team runs that play. That's a simple power dive, and the back has got to get the first person to show." And the first person to show was Nick Bolton. It wasn't the Brian Cook. He was double teaming him, and Dwelly had him. And then the other rule is just a hat on hat. It's 11 on 11. You don't need 10 on 11. You got to get everybody accounted for. And he didn't do that, and that cost him the game. But he's not a fullback, so that's a design problem, not a player problem.
Todd said, D-Led, is the pass rush improving?
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. No, Pat Mahomes had a lot of time back there. I saw Judon giving chase a little bit. Saw Grady maybe break through. Not seeing much from. Saw Caden Ellis chasing down. Ebiketie had him wrapped up once. It feels the same. Feels the same. Oh, we almost got there type pass rush. So maybe we'll see them get home against the Saints here on Sunday.
D-Led, am I missing something? But it kind of, when you mentioned about Tyler Algiers and him not really being a fullback. I'm still trying to piece this together in my mind because if you remember, the previous regime had problems utilizing players properly. This was the thing. Hey, we're not utilizing this guy this way. And so my question is, once again, I saw in I think game one, a little bit in game two, people complaining that Kyle Pitts missed a block. And I'm thinking, why are you trying to have Kyle Pitts? Isn't that what you got Charlie Warner for, to be the chip blocker? That's number one. Number two, you drafted in the 6th round a guy that played fullback at Alabama. And you said you drafted a guy and you kept him on the team because he's a good blocker. Why would you put Tyler Algiers, who was a 1,000-yard back for you 2 years ago, at the fullback position? I guess what I'm trying to understand is I thought the coach's job was to have the player be in the best position to succeed. And it seems like that's not what they're doing. This is me. Just like even playing your quarterback who's primarily a play action fake guy in a pistol. I'm just trying to figure this all out.
They're kind of outsmarting themselves, but so much in the league is what you put on film and what you don't put on film, and you're trying to trick people for down the road, and and so forth. All this, and Tyler Algier, Jace McClellan's the kid you're talking about. He's not completely healthy. He's he had an ankle issue. He's been inactive for every game. I haven't even seen him do it much in practice, so he's not going to be a factor this year at all. But they convinced themselves that Kyle Pitts could help with the blocking, and so they tried to do it, and it didn't work against T.J. Watt. So because they don't want it to be predictable that, hey, when he's in that position, he's always running a pass. So he's got to help with some blocking, but I'm thinking that, that's probably a bad plan.
Morris Shields says, what's the football active Sun night?
I think he's talking about, he's asking the question, was the fullback
the fullback
active on Sunday night?
active.
Well, let me ask you a question.
They don't have a fullback. They don't have one. They're all running backs.
Who's the guy that I saw come out was catching a few passes? Unfortunately, I mistook him for the kid from Alabama. Who was that number 34 that they used? He actually caught a couple of passes, did pretty well.
That's Ray McLeod. He's a returner receiver, but with a running back number.
Dude, I mean, I thought he was a little scrawny guy. He got a little beef to him. He's all right, little scrapper. Okay, all right.
No, Ray's a little dude, but he runs hard. He plays bigger than his size.
That's what I'm saying. He looked like he had a little strength to himself.
5'9", 190, 5'9", 190, but he ran hard on that 20-yard reverse.
He sure did.
Yeah.
H.C. Hardy said, on November the 5th, the NFL trade deadline, who do you think on any team will be traded?
Jameis Winston is coming up. Dallas needs running backs. So that could be a possibility. They got to try to get Delvin Cook. Green Bay. Tennessee's gonna probably. I don't know if they are ready to throw in the towel on the Will Levis experience, but Malik Willis going in there and beating them probably he's gonna push that along. Malik, of course, from Westlake and Roswell High here. Played at Auburn for a second in Liberty, a local kid. So look at the quarterback and the running back skill positions or the places where people are going to try to get better. Keep an eye on Cincinnati and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Those are, the Brown family doesn't like the holdouts. They don't like being, dragged through the mud in those financial situations. So the T. Higgins could be available. We'll have more action here than we've had in years past.
Then we got another question here from
I said, D-Lad, what's up with the kid from Clemson we picked hot? Deactivated for games.
Yeah, number Ruka Ruru, defensive tackle. We asked coach, like, hey, what's up with Rook? He's not playing. And he's like, well, who you want me to not play? They got the veterans. They got Eddie Goldman, Oyamada, and Grady. They're playing. Tyquan Graham is backing them up. And, and they got a couple other veterans. So they're like, hey, the rookie got to beat them out. So, Yeah, your second round pick has been inactive for 3 games. And that's probably a good thing because that defense has been on the field so long. Those old guys are going to need some help later on. They'll need some later later on in the season. So it's probably a good thing he's not playing right now.
And see, that's what I kind of thought the idea was, is to have all that beef that you can consistently rotate. And like you mentioned, I mean, I looked at the Falcons in 2 of the 3 games, have been out possessioned in terms of minutes 2-1.
Yeah, 9 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to hold up, bro. I mean, you said it earlier. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, and
Morris
they
Shields. Oh, sorry.
they've managed it pretty good so far, Reverend. We can go right to that one.
Morris Shields says, "What is the key to the Falcons' victory Sunday?"
Yeah, they gotta convert on third downs. Real simple here. Run the ball. They need to be over 100 yards, closer to 150 is going to be key because, this isn't an offense that he can drop back and throw it 40 times a game. So run the ball, convert on third downs, and, take away the Saints' weapons, Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave, the big weapons for the Saints. And then the Falcons can come away with the victory.
That hits it right there. Question, Gillette. How have you graded? I know it's early. He's coming back off an injury. How do you think that Troy Anderson looks so far?
I'm getting texts during the game from my linebacker people, and he's not doing too good on his grades. A lot of tackles down the field, not covering backs out of the backfield like they want. I had a bad day against Jalen Hurts. No shame there, but his job is to keep track of the quarterback, and Jalen got loose for 80-something yards up there. So, no, the grades I'm getting, the feedback I'm getting on Troy Anderson is not very good right now. But Caden Ellis is playing out, lights out, getting really good grades in on him.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little disappointed because, again, I think he was a third-round pick. I think
second.
Yeah, so another second-round pick, a guy who is supposed to be like what the Dan Quinn used to got, the kind of Swiss Army knife guy. You can play him anywhere, do anything, but it just seems like a lot of times he looks like lost in space. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
He just seems lost.
Yeah, he doesn't have line. He doesn't have instincts. He was just an athlete, and they're trying to make him linebacker. He's on his second coach, linebacker coach. Missed most of last year, and maybe they still think he could come. But J.D. Bertrand is getting some action, the rookie from Notre Dame, and Nate Landman is on IR, so he's your guy for now.
Yeah, I just think he's not a good fit at inside linebacker. I think he would be more a guy that you can maybe make a rover back, but again, he seems to have some problem with spatial awareness, or just use the speed to have him come off and do his delayed blitzes. Because, like you said, he just seems to be kind of lost in space.
Segra said, D-Led, any word on how Penix is performing with the scout team?
No, we haven't asked about that in the first 3 weeks. So, we'll check in on that kind of probably around the mini bye week and how he's doing running the scout team. We had a little more important stuff than how the backup quarterback's doing on the scout team right now. But we know a lot of people want to hear how he's doing. And, usually the halfway point's a good time to check in on the scout team quarterback.
Yeah, I think people got a little itchy when they saw, what's the name come out and shoot a little slow, and people are going to start. I just hope the team can continue to improve because you really don't. Not that it would be a quarterback controversy, but you just don't need any extra drama.
Yeah, it don't matter. It's gonna be some anyway. But if you're winning, it doesn't matter. If you're losing, they're gonna. You gotta remember, Reverend, the same folks are here that called for Matt Schaub when Michael Vick was a quarterback. So they're gonna be calling for Penix as soon as something goes wrong. It's just the fickle nature of the fandom. So we're kind of already ready for that.
Oh my
Todd
gosh.
said, "How serious is Landman's injury?"
He's on short-term IR, so he has a chance to come back. It sounds like a groin. They called it a hip, groin, whatever. But yeah, so usually that's a 6-week deal. Let it calm down, not with no stress, and then it'll be a ramp-up period for him to get back. So I don't expect to see him until the second half of the season. By that time, they'll probably be fed up with Troy Anderson, and they'll slide him back in there.
Yeah, because I mean, Landman, to his credit, was a tackling machine, sir. I mean, that guy, he was a tackling machine. I think did he have over 150 tackles last year, or pretty darn close to it, right?
110, third on
Okay.
the team. Jesse was 1, and Ellis was 2, and Lyman was 3.
AC Hardy said, "Trent Scott lineman for Commanders, representing the Qs with his touchdown celebration. I give him B minus."
Yeah, nah, that guy, big guy, can move like that.
Big
Played at
man.
Grambling, Grambling
Give him a
brother. We
B
had him
minus.
on our official Omega South 5 page today. Kicking them, got to get them knees up and have low back, high knees.
Tell him, D. Lev, you're gonna do it. Got to do it right. Yes, sir.
That's right. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get like them young guys. They doing a little different than we used to do it. But yeah, it's low back and high knees. That's still out there for everybody trying to step.
So she was buzzing. We did do. Oh, there we go. Yep, that's Segred.
Seger said, "Kurt's body language looks terrible on TV. Why does he sit alone on the sidelines?"
Yeah, I think Kurt's tough on himself. Justin Simmons he went over to him after the game and was like, hey, we're gonna be fine. Kurt's like, oh, he just know they're missing stuff. He knows there's stuff that they should be doing that they haven't picked up on. I don't know if it's if it's the line, people running the right routes, but he's trying to get everybody on the same page. But he checks in with Penix. I do know that. And Peterman, and then he kind of gets, he goes to his, Penix goes and watch the game, and Kirk goes to the bench. So I've seen that too. So we'll have to. That's just he's a veteran. He's got his own way of doing stuff, and so you're just gonna kind of have to let him do it his way.
Yeah, Todd said, "Yeah, I agree. Kurt seems to pout on the sidelines."
Yeah, I don't know. I'm usually watching defense, so I can't really be a sideline expert. But I know he knows when stuff's not going right. He's not happy about it. I do know that.
Yeah. Fantasy Football Goat Strategy says, "D-Led, when the coaching staff using analytics to call a play, it's equivalent to grabbing a joystick to call a play on Madden."
Yeah, no doubt. I think I went off on that on the social media this week. I was like, I want to fire the analytics guy. That's what I want to do. Let's get rid of the analytics guy and kick the field goals. Take the points. What happened with that? So
Yeah,
they
that
take
was.
the points, kick the field goal. You down 5, you cut it 2, stop them. You kick the field goal, you win by 3. It's a simple math. None of this. We're gonna fight to the blah blah, and we came here to win. We didn't come here to tie. And yeah, you came here to lose because you didn't take the points. So so chill out with all that. We came here to win stuff.
Yeah,
I
I
like
mean,
Coach Raheem, but I'm like, no, dude, you got to take the points.
right.
The analytics people, go run Kroger or something. Go do the books for Home Depot. Get out of the football room.
Listen, I understand completely. I'm still hurt that my Detroit Lions didn't take the points in that final game. Woo, I don't know that I'll ever live that one down. But yes, I agree. Take the points.
Yeah, I feel your pain, Miss Tree. And now that everybody's penciling them in to go back to the Super Bowl this year, and now Frank Ragnall's hurt. That's the main guy on the line. So you can't never say, well, we're gonna get back next year. No, you never know what's gonna happen.
That's
Things
true.
happen.
It's hard to do it, but I'm still
Hmm.
saying it. But it's hard to do it. But yes, that injury, I'm crushed about that. So we'll have to definitely see because we have three key people actually that are injured,
Yeah,
and whew, I'm just like,
they,
we got to
they
figure
had to
something
pull.
out.
They had to pull out the hook and ladder to to win last week.
Right. I think
That
old
was
Hey, it
school.
was
sweet. That was
nice
the
too.
old
It
school.
worked.
Yeah, it worked. That was old school Miami Dolphins hook and ladder play.
Yes, sir. Hey, we want to go to, want to say a big shout out here. For those of you who don't know, we also broadcast on the channel that's primarily for gamers and podcasts, but we are on Twitch and we have a comment from Twitch and a question I think that's really for you, Tree.
Uh,
It's
Vibes
winning.
with TP said, "Who's winning the WNBA?" Listen, Vibes with TP. I am going with the Las Vegas Aces. That's who I'm choosing. That's my pick for the champions for the WNBA. Who do you have? But yes, I'm going with the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, I think I second that emotion. Yeah, there's no doubt. I think that the lovely Miss Asia Wilson is a woman on a mission. She won her third MVP this year, and I think she wants to have a three-peat. I don't think anybody's done that since what, the Houston Comets been the last team to win three in a row. I
Hey,
think.
and to
Real
help
swoop.
it off, she has
Yep,
a gold medal this year from the Olympics. So this is the best year to do it as well. We'll see what happens.
no doubt.
Yeah.
I said social media is just buzzing here. Let's go back.
I said Dr. Phil needs to break down Kirk's antics on the sidelines. Laugh out
Lord have
loud.
mercy.
Ty, you must really be bothered by Kirk on the sideline.
Yeah, Kirk was disappointed with the loss, and yeah, yeah, he
As
said it
he
was a
should be.
sickening feeling not getting the job done.
Yeah. Said Gray said, is Mike Hughes cornerback one?
No, he's cornerback two. And you saw Patrick Mahomes go after him as such. It was surprising that the first two teams threw at AJ Terrell, but the Chiefs went at D. Alford and Mike Hughes. So Mike Hughes is not your QB CB1. Your cornerback number one just got a really big contract.
Right.
H.C. Hardy said, it has to be a kick in the stomach for Cousins to see Darnold look like an all-star in Minnesota, but he got his money.
Yeah, we'll that'll come up later on in the season when the Falcons go to Minnesota. Kirk and Darnold weren't there together. Darnold was with the 49ers last couple years, so he has no clue who Sam Darnold is. As a teammate, it wasn't his backup. But he does know that Kevin O'Connell's a good quarterback coach. He's doing a fine job with Darnold. And also, Kirk had his best years with his Kevin O'Connell. 2022 was Kirk's best year. And, I think you want to give the coach in Minnesota a lot of credit.
So I said, D-Led, your take on Mr. Blank Ring of Honor. Did he really deserve it?
I'm gonna no comment on that. I think we know. We just gonna move on, Todd.
Well, all I can tell you is from being there, the fans weren't feeling it. I mean, the energy went out the building. A lot of people walked outside. It just there was no real energy, and I'll leave it at that myself. Oh, let's go to the next one. I'm sorry. There we go.
Fantasy Football Ghost Strategy said, analytics is when AI replaces NI, natural intelligence.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
a good
know.
one.
It's a
AI
good
is
one.
big. We're getting ready to. I don't know. Are they gonna be having? They already got AI writing the fantasy articles on Yahoo. They're gonna have them start writing the real articles. I don't know,
Wow.
but we're gonna let the next generation deal with AI.
No doubt. All right, last one before we wrap it up there. H.C. Hardy is the man.
H.C. Hardy said, Captain Kirk needs to find his Spock and Scotty before he gets beamed out, not up.
Yeah, well, I think they're working on that. I think they're working on it. We've seen some promising stuff. It's just a matter of getting the continuity. You got to throw out. When you're out putting together offense, you got all these plays, and you think you could run them, and they look good in practice. Then you get in the game and they don't work. So what I do or what anybody would do. Okay, I'm keeping the stuff that works. The stuff that don't work, I'm throwing it out. So, and if they keep trying to do stuff that don't work, then we'll be still talking about them being 2-9 on third downs as the season progresses. But I think they got some smart people running the offense, and they're gonna put together a plan that works and not draw up some stuff. Like they hadn't gotten that pro set formation with two running backs all season. When 4th and 1 with the game on the line, they decided to do it, and the boy misses his block because he ain't never done that before. So, they're going to figure it out. They're either going to teach him to find the linebacker or they're not running that play again. So that's where they're at. They're going to figure this out and put some things together. And if they can get it running like a smooth operation, if they're scoring, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, you're going to win a lot of games. But if you're going to, you have a 4-series block with nothing, you're not going to win any games. So, and then the other team's moving while you're stalling out. So that's where they're at. I mean, it's been enough good football to be excited, from what we've been seeing. Hey, so going to these games, you kind of know that, hey, they got a shot. They got a shot here on Sunday. Whereas, the feeling the last few years, like, okay, they might have a shot, maybe if somebody goes for 200 yards or something. But so there's a different field, no doubt, and they look competitive. Now it's time for them to start putting some wins together and playing some smart football and fire the analytics guy.
All right, you get the last one, brother. This is it. Go ahead.
I said, last question, D-Led, and thanks for spending time with us. Is offensive line center injuries going to be a factor?
Yeah, he's on the IR, Drew Dahlman, and the backup is Ryan Newsel. He's a free agent out of Appalachian State in 220. Undrafted kid who's climbed up the hard side of the NFL mountain. He's going to get a chance to be the center now for a few weeks. He started 3 games last year, and Kurt said he's looking forward to working with him. And they also picked up Matt Hennessy, who was drafted when Raheem was here, and he was the starting center, post Alex Mack. And Hennessy, Arthur Smith and them came in, and they wanted their guy. They didn't like Hennessy. They eventually ran him out. And Hennessy was with the Eagles, I believe, most of last year, and he's back on the practice squad. So if Newsel doesn't work out, they got Juvon Gwynn, and they got Hennessy to back up at center.
Well, with center and me, D-Led, I still haven't gotten over the fact that they passed up the kid from LSU, was Castleberry, to draft any of them 2 guys. That's the thing that still hurts me to this day, but I'm not going to get into that. I mean, anyway, all that being said, guys, you know how we do it. As we wrap the show up, we want to make sure that you, our viewers and listeners, know how to find out more about our guest and co-host. So, Mr. D. Orlando Ledbetter, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Reverend. You can find me on the X or Twitter, however we're going with it these days, at DOrlandoAJC, on the gram at DOrlandoLed, and at AJC.com is where you find all of our stories and good work at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Take care and have a great evening.
Yeah.
D-Led in the building. Thank you, sir. See you again soon.
Thank you. All right.
Bye, D-Led.
Mr. Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on social media at Purple Diva 13, and thank you for tuning in.
The Queen has spoken. All right, guys, wrapping up here. You can follow me, or even better yet, follow the show at Real Talk Sports, the number 7, all social media platforms. You also can go to our website at realtalksports.net You can email me if you need something at jsimmons at realtalksports.net. Also, you can follow me personally on social media at Minister J Sim. I do a lot of inspirational posting, Bible verses, and the like. And speaking of that, I'm going to remind you, if you don't have a relationship with God, you better get one in a hurry. And the way you do that is to have a relationship with His Son, Jesus Christ. And how does that work? Well, it's real simple. You repent of your sins, believe that He came on this earth, died for your sins, and rose from the dead. And when He did, something spectacular He now can offer to you and I. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. I mean, you can now go to God like a heavenly parent, ask Him for whatever you need, and according to His will, He'll give it to you. And when you die, you go to that spectacular, beautiful, lovely place called heaven. Where there's none of the following: no pain, no pandemic. You never get old, you never die, you never cry. And you get to see God, Jesus Christ, and all the people of love face to face. How cool is that? And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things I just mentioned will not be there. Instead, it's dark, it's dreary, it's fire, it's painful, and you're locked up with all the demons and the devil himself, all the worst people ever on earth. But most of all, you cut off from God, from Jesus Christ, and all the people of love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number one instead of option number two. All right, everybody, until the next time we get back together again, you know how we do it. We simply tell you, God bless you, and have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, whichever way applies. So long, and take care.